one little anecdote about Jeffrey. He was recruited to go from, I think it was Mount Sinai, to the Cleveland Clinic. And Jeffrey's always giving me my colonoscopies. And when Jeffrey was recruited, he was director of minimally invasive surgery and chairman of this and chief of that. And he really thought he was hot shit. So I was having a colonoscopy and it was scheduled to be on his birthday. So Suzanne and I were talking, and now Suzanne can finish.
So I found some washable magic marker and wrote, we asked Jeffrey which side Marvin was going to be laying on. And I wrote on Marvin's butt, "Happy birthday from one asshole to another." And didn't say anything to him.
And I had called Stephanie to ask her a question, and Stephanie got it out of me why I was asking. So Jeffrey, when he put the IV in and to count back toward 100, I was trying to stay awake. So when he undraped my tuchus, I would be there for the laugh. And he says, count backwards. And I'm counting backwards. And he keeps shooting me up more and more. And then, of course, there was Stephanie couldn't keep a secret. So there's a whole host of nurses that had walked into the colonoscopy suite. And when he undraped me, it was right there. Happy birthday from one asshole to another.
So Jeffrey also told us that he took that slide, because of course there was a video. And when he lectured, he used that slide to entertain probably thousands of people, and Marvin's butt was very famous.
I'm the most famous a-hole there is in the world.
How do you train and credential people for new procedures? It used to be in surgical training. We didn't pay much attention to that. You finish surgical training, you could take out a stomach, a colon, a gallbladder, fix a hernia, and they figured you had enough experience, and if a new procedure came along, you just sort of learned it. It's different now because new things are developing so rapidly. And so SAGE has developed guidelines for training and practice and proctoring. And so what happened, and I think the notes era really guided us in this, is that when new procedures develop, people go and study these new procedures with the people that innovated them. And under their guidance, they will then perform this procedure with people there to watch them and proctor them. And then when they're told, okay, you're probably okay to go ahead by yourself now, they can have other people, and we multiply our effect by having new people come and watch the people who've been trained and proctored. But I really believe that you have to visit people or go to courses, and then you have to be proctored to do a new procedure before you're credentialed to do it. And not everyone learns a new procedure at the same rate. Now, this idea of performing a certain number of procedures to be competent is out of date, because some people learn a new procedure in 2 times. I used to help Paul Preby do hernia repairs when he was a 3rd-year resident, and I was a chief. I could barely understand what he was doing. He was so facile and so technically able, and I was more slow in my approach. It's the same with new procedures. Some people pick them up and are quick at it and very good. Tolga Aram, the person I just taught to do poem in Florida, is so slick at doing intramural surgery. He learned it much faster than I, and he's very good at it. Superb. Other people, you can shake your head and they take many, many more procedures to learn. Jeff Marks is an interesting guy because he started his internship at Mount Sinai under me. Little Jeff grew, and then he couldn't find a fellowship to do, and he wasn't sure what he wanted to do. I said, well, come on and work with me and you'll do endoscopy. So he came and worked with me and did endoscopy. And then he tried private practice for a while, and he didn't like it, so he came back to Mount Sinai and was on my faculty as my partner. And so it began, this long, he calls a 27-year fellowship, because even though he was my partner, I never left him alone. I badgered him and instructed him and beat on him all the time and watched him grow academically. He's become a leader in American surgical endoscopy. He's been president of SAGES. And to this day, He chastises me, he corrects me, and guides me. Jeff is the kind of person who works selflessly for others. For years, he was the guy who put together the SAGES courses. Even when I put them together, he did all the work. Jeff has been so kind to so many people in advancing their careers, and he's beloved by all the people who get a chance to work with him.
Jeff, it's so exciting to be able to talk to you today. I think back 35 years when I opened up that envelope when I was at Tufts Medical School, and it said Mount Sinai Hospital, not even Mount Sinai Medical Center, Cleveland, Ohio, General Surgical Residency Match. And when I think about all the things that have happened over those 35 years and how much you've impacted it, it's hard to describe in a 2-minute talk here. But I do want to thank you for all the opportunities that you've allowed for me and my family and for everything in my growth as a surgeon. But when I think about what I really want to tell you is the way you measure success is something I think that other people should think about. Your successes aren't personal, and you can tell by the hundreds of people in the room here that you measure success by the people around you and the successes they've had, your family, your friends, your peers, and that's what's added up to your career. And for that, I want to congratulate you and let you know that we are so excited to share in this fest shift with you, and I can't wait to see you on September 17th. Thanks so much.